Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is going to be part 2 of however many I end up doing of me redesigning pretty popular logos. So today's theme for logo redesign are coffee companies, and I asked you guys on Instagram what logos you would like for me to redesign. I'll let you finish. It's fine. I asked you guys on Instagram what logos you would like to see me redesign, and overwhelmingly I got a lot of coffee company logos, meaning like Starbucks, I got one Tim Hortons, I got Dunkin' Donuts, I got a Coffee Bean, and I got a few like at-home brands. So today I'm going to be doing Starbucks, Coffee Bean, and Folgers. And I chose these pretty much because they are like some of the biggest coffee companies, and I feel like a lot of people are pretty familiar with their logos. Starbucks is obviously the king of general retail coffee, and their brand has been the same for a long time, so I want to kind of like tweak it a little bit. I don't want to push it too far, but maybe, you know, give it a facelift, make it look a little bit more younger, more a little boutique, and maybe just, I don't know, I feel like their brand has been the same for a long time, so I'll just tweak it a little bit but still keep it relatively the same. For Coffee Bean, I've always hated Coffee Bean's logo. I used to work for Coffee Bean way back in the day when I was a barista, and it just irked me for years. So I was super excited when someone suggested that I do Coffee Bean, because oh boy, do I want to do it. And then the third logo we're gonna do is the Folgers at-home coffee. What kind of coffee is it? It's like instant coffee, pretty much. And it comes in like that iconic like red tin, not tin, like red carton tube thing. And Folgers is kind of like a staple, and I know a lot of people just like to this day still love Folgers coffee, and that's totally fine. So I want to kind of rebrand them a little bit and kind of give them a little bit of a facelift, because their packaging has also looked the same forever, and I kind of want to give it a new spin, so I'm most excited about that one. So cool. If this is your first time watching me, I welcome you to my channel. You can subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and leave a like if you enjoyed it. And also, if you are pursuing graphic design, I recently uploaded another video. I will link it in the description box below if you want to learn more about general graphic design and kind of my experience coming into the industry. And also, if you do want to work with me for any graphic design needs, I will leave all of my contact and website info in the description box below if you would like to hit me up. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's actually get started. Cool. So I'm working on my computer. It's just below out of screen because you don't need to see my actual computer, but we will see on the screen recording. I do have a few sketches and notes of what I do plan on doing already for all of these logos, because that does take a lot of time, and this video would be like 8 hours long to do this. And like for an average logo like this, again, these are done typically by agencies, like branding and packaging agencies that do specialize in logos of this type or branding of this type, but I'm just gonna do it myself. And so typically there's a lot of hours that go into doing these logos, a lot of research and a lot of money weighing in on rebranding. So it is a very touchy subject for some companies. But anyway, let's get started. So I have my computer, I have a Wacom tablet. It's a little one, it's kind of rinky-dinky, not very good, but it's fine. So that's what I'm gonna be using. So let's open up Illustrator. Okay, so starting with Starbucks. Now we know pretty much the history of Starbucks, just as like a general consumer. We know that they've always had this mermaid lady in the middle. Previously she was dressed a little bit less, I guess, and they have since covered her up, and now it's just like her face. They slowly evolved their logo over the years, but it's pretty much like the same. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a facelift, make it look a little bit younger, but still kind of stay within like their same brand guide, so you don't lose that brand recognition. So all right, getting started. So I was thinking for Starbucks, if I can type, I can't spell. I'm tired. Okay, so I have a few types of type that I'm gonna be cycling through just to see what I'm feeling. So if you watched my last logo video, you know I am a cereal nut. It's Airbnb's type. It's pretty good. I'm a big fan of it. I'm gonna try some Gotham Bold. So I wanna still stick in that sans serif family. Let's just hop on over to Adobe Fonts and see if I can pull any other that I might not have already had in my library. Ooh, that's kind of a fun one. Titling Gothic actually might be a pretty cool one. Maybe if we like kern that out a bit. All right, now I know there aren't drastic differences between these two. Like if I overlay these, you know, So the darker one is Serial, the one with the lower opacity is Gotham Bold. They're similar fonts, but they do have their differences. Like for example, I really like the A and the S in Serial. Well, not you, but I also like how thick and heavy Titling Gothic is, so we'll see. Maybe we'll just get rid of that guy already. Let's run with these two. What else do I got on this? Maybe I will just pair these. Now what I wanted to do for Starbucks was add a star in the name. So for this, I'm just going to, first of all, make a duplicate, get that guy out of the frame, saving, outlining that type, ungrouping, goodbye, dropping that star. All right, so that would be pretty much like our standard type logo. We're just gonna keep that pretty simple and move on to the next part, which would be more of like an iconography or kind of like what they have now with their circle with the mermaid in the middle. So I'm gonna stay along the same kind of like hint of the mermaid, but take out the mermaid and work more with the crown and also some of the waves in the mermaid's hair and tail, just like her general texture. So I'm gonna pull some of that out. So I'm gonna take this star that we used also in the logo, and I'm going to make this crown right here. Okay, so then we have almost the complete logo for the crown. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. My computer sounds like a small engine of a small plane taking off and then failing. So I pulled the corners of this in a little bit, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna copy this star and replace it in this main logo, just to make it a little bit more soft around the edges. I'm gonna do the same thing with all these letters, just pull them in the tiniest bit, just like that. Now going back to this crown, grab this center point, turn that into an arc. Cool, cool. Can I make this a little bit smaller? It's a bit much. All right, I'm into that. Now it kind of like has that little line right there. Cool. All right, merging that, you can go away. Oh, wrong thing. All right, so now we have this a little bit of a revised version of the crown, a little bit softer. And now we're gonna take, actually, need her back. So these little lines in her hair and kind of in her fin, I wanna pull that out into more of a branding element. So we've got a semi-symmetrical squiggle. Now what we're gonna do is bump up how thick it is. Okay, so after some trial and error, this is where we have landed. I was gonna do the squiggle thing, but honestly, it just wasn't working as like an icon, so we got rid of it. So this is what I ended up with. These softened corners from the original type, plus this new softened crown from the old one here. So now that we've got that out of the way, and we've got this. So this being more of their stylized icon slash green lady in the circle, or lady in the green circle, you know, this is where we're at. So now I would like to integrate some color into this. Let's go. So right now Starbucks uses this, I think this is a trademarked green. That's a hex code for it. So what I'm gonna do is make that a bit of a forest green. So that's the original, we'll overlap for some new. Also, I'm going to be working in, I don't even think this is in the right profile. We're in CMYK. We're gonna change it to RGB so I can get a little bit more of a vibrant color palette. Let's go. Okay. Subtle, but it's a little bit warmer and a little bit deeper. So we're gonna go with that. That's the old one, goodbye. And I'm going to add a gold, a black, and almost like a blush creamy color. Classic me. So for gold, let's find a good gold. Don't want anything muddy. That's a bit yellow. Go some more orange. Let's pull some out of that. Okay, I'm gonna go into their peaches. This a little bit lighter. Go to like a dark charcoal. Yeah, I like that. I'm into that. Cool. Okay, so let's try actually branding this out into different styles of lockups. So that is pretty much how I would pair up some colors with the logo and kind of making it a little bit more boutique feeling, but still keeping like that same Starbucks feel. You get me? All right. So I'm also gonna throw this onto some store signage as well as a coffee cup, and I will insert those here. Okay. So next up is the coffee bean. Now, this is their current logo. It is a new logo that they've had maybe for a few years now versus their old one, which is this one. It's really not very appealing to me and I don't quite like it. So we're gonna try to rebrand it a little bit. So what I would propose is to drop "and the tea leaf" because it's a bit long. So I think running with a coffee bean would be a better approach. It's shorter, obviously. And they sell a lot of coffee, but they are known for their selection of tea. But I'm still gonna integrate the tea leaf into the logo and you'll see in a sec while I do that. So I do still want to stick with a pretty modernized font. I might be open to a sans serif, but I'm leaning maybe more towards a serif just so they can contrast a little bit with Starbucks because they do use a lot of sans serif fonts in their work. So I'm gonna try to find a really nice one that is super modern and young, and then we're gonna make some iconography of that. So let's go. Okay. So I have their old logo right here. I'm gonna go ahead and type out coffee bean. I'm gonna go over to Adobe fonts. I do like that Nazaire, like that a lot, but we're open. Looking for a now we're looking for a serif. I want something kind of heavier. Just put my heavy weight on. Okay, I am really attracted to this Bookmania. I'm gonna wait for those to install. Not really sold on it. Let's go with Nazaire. Now, my original goal for this was to just make this more, I guess, I hate using the word boutique, but that is the route we're going. So we're gonna shrink this guy down, turn my rulers on, pull one down. I think maybe even adding a small underline to this might look cute. Cute already. So since the coffee bean is known for kind of like their more customized stuff, I do want this to be really friendly and approachable and kind of artisanal, if you will. Now over in their original logo, they do have this established in 1963, which I do think is super cute. So let's throw that in there as well. Maybe we lose this, drop it down, add a apostrophe, copy that, and we'll just make this to size like that. All right, so we've got that jazz going on. Now, I would like to kind of create this icon I had in my head where it's a coffee bean and a leaf kind of making this cute little heart. So let's jump into that. Now, coffee beans are not like the most attractive shape, so we're gonna try to make it look a little bit cuter. I'm gonna make it oval right now, something a bit like that. Goose, now you're in my shot, my buddy. That took a while. All right, so after a good hour of wrestling with this icon, I have come to this. So we got the coffee bean on one side, we got the tea leaf, whatever, on the other side. So I wanted to make that kind of heart shape, and the coffee bean is not like the sexiest shape in the world, so it was a bit difficult to work with. So I made a little leaf, made a little bean, and that's what we made. We made a little heart. So this is kind of what I was thinking for it, just as like a horizontal logo. And then down here I have, keeping with the same circle that they had previously, over here, pull this down, awesome. This being the new one, this being the previous one. I still wanted to keep that same shape. I've always hated how they tilted their logo. That drives me nuts. And I know it's supposed to be like, oh, they stamped it on like the side of a carton or something, but I don't think that really communicates, and I think it just looks kind of strange and difficult to apply across things. So this is with and the tea leaf, and tea leaf, just so I can keep that shape like their original logo. But I would honestly recommend dropping in tea leaf, but you know what, it's fine. So now that we have that going, let's bring in some wonderful colors. I'm gonna grab the same thing from the Starbucks one. Okay. For Coffee Bean, they have right now, so the Coffee Bean currently uses this really weird purple, and I don't really know why they went with this purple. They probably have something somewhere on like their history of why they use this purple, but it's really not attractive to me. So I want to make a bit of a lighter purple, just so it's like less abrasive. Kind of into that. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more blue, maybe not so blue. That's enough of a change. Subtle, but it's there. Cool. Alright, so new purple, periwinkle, whatever. And I'm gonna just give it a nice, warm, like peachy cream. Maybe a third. No, we'll just stick with those. Okay. Taking this type here, I wonder if I should make that a tad bit thicker. All right, so that is pretty much how I would stylize the Coffee Bean, using a revamped shade of their purple, so it's more like a dark periwinkle because it has like that blue undertone versus a red undertone like their previous purple, and pairing that with like a soft peachy blush just to give it some contrast color instead of working with just white. I think that's a little bit dated, so we have just a little bit of that cream and that new periwinkle. And that's what you get. So just like I did with the Starbucks cup, I will also show what this logo would look like on a sign in a cup here. Next logo. So for our third and final logo, we are going to be tackling the iconic Folgers coffee logo. Now, just looking at their logo, let me pull it up real quick. So looking at it, they have pretty much this kind of sans serif type. They have this nice little red outline around it, some mountains, some hills, and then some mountains, and then a sun. So they're a pretty old company, so I don't want to not do them justice and give them a quality logo that they deserve since they've been around for so long. So I guess my goal for the Folgers logo is going to be to give it more of an artisanal feel, make it feel a little bit more of like an indie coffee brand, brighten it up, make it a little bit more modern, and I guess like artisanal is going to be the best way to describe it because I want it to seem like that classic small vintage vibe since it is an old brand. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over back to Adobe fonts, and typically I struggle a little bit with finding a good script font, so I usually end up doing things by myself. This one's actually kind of cute. Coquette. Let's download that one. Something I like to do when I'm looking for a bunch of different fonts is to just write them down, because like I can download them and then I forget what they're called, so writing them down definitely helps. And I also like Voltage. This Reclaim script is kind of cute. Okay, so we're waiting for those to download. And while they are, just gonna get started here. So, hey, Gus. They're sitting on their crankliest toy they own. Boys. So while that is downloading, I'm gonna kind of play around with some handwritten stuff. for those. I'm just gonna wait for those fonts to finish downloading, and then we'll move on. Okay, hey guys, it's day 2 because I got too tired to finish all this yesterday because it takes quite a long time. So now we're moving on to logo 3, which is a Folgers coffee. Now, like I said earlier, it is this classic, just weird, kind of outdated, like kind of a serif, kind of a sans serif, sits in a little bit, it has some legs and some of the letters. So we've got pretty much this sans serif logo with this mountain thing going on behind it, like a little bit of a hill, mountain, and then we got these rays. So I really like that. I think that makes it a, I don't know, that's like a classic part of Folgers coffee because it is kind of like everyone has Folgers coffee. Or maybe not, excuse me, maybe not everyone, but you know, it's a very popular at-home coffee. So what I'm thinking for this is I want to really make this a boutique looking brand. So kind of like that hipstery coffee look. That's our goal. But I still want it to look rustic. I still want it to look homey and approachable and still kind of have that Folgers twist that is kind of known for with having the mountain and the rays behind it. So that's what we're gonna do. Don't mind Gus's tail right here. So I've already pulled some fonts that I'm kind of liking. And that's just, again, through Adobe Fonts. So I'm just gonna go through and install the ones that I downloaded yesterday. So this one, boys, hey. Anyway, so this is one that I found yesterday. It's called Coquette, and I really am into this. It's got so many great, not so many, it's got a few of these really great weights, so I'm just gonna select the extra bold, then I'm gonna go and add voltage and reclaim. So a little bit more of a marker font, a traditional script, and more of like a cursive style font. Now, I'm biased and I already kind of know what I want, so that's the one we're going with. Hey, 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 hey. This is my life. So with this one, so I was kind of thinking maybe if I could connect some of these letters so it just feels, I don't know, less disjointed. Hey, please don't hit my camera. Love having cats. So great. Hey. Excuse me. Who did that? I really like that R, but I don't know how else I want to connect them or if I want to just leave them disconnected because it doesn't really bother me. You know what? I'm kind of okay with it. So, all right, we're going with that for now. Now next, let's just pull up what their Folgers logo. Okay, holy mother of God. Thinking maybe I should, I'll finagle this a little bit more. Now that I fixed that out, because it was really bothering me, we're gonna move on to making the mountains and, let's see, yeah, these mountains and the sun behind all of this. So I'm thinking I'll trace this in a light fashion just with my brush so I still get a bit of a hand feel. That way they still have some of their original branding already included. So we've got the loose shape of our mountains in place, similar to the old mountain, so it's nothing completely different. And then I do want to add in a sun. Maybe it's filled in. Yeah, okay. I hate those. awful. Okay, we're starting over. More of the style I want. No, that looks really young. You know what? Maybe we go without gasp. What if we try little triangles like in the original logo? Yeah, no, definitely Statue of Liberty vibes. How about I just do some straight lines? Okay, I think that looks pretty cute, so I want to adjust the brush style in here because I'm not a fan of it right now. It's way too blunt for how soft my logo is. So I think we'll do some of this jazz properties. Okay. This looks like so quaint. It's so quaint. Okay, how about we push this to a 3.5. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe I do stagger this a bit. So we do that one, that one, that one, and that one. That one's 0.25. We'll sit on that for a minute. Guys, no, you can't lay down, buddy. I know. I know. Guys. Throwing a tantrum. All right, so this is where we are currently. Now, my next plan of action is going to be making some colors for this bad boy. So I don't want to veer away from their iconic red, so we're gonna stay in that red family as our dominant color. Just gonna grab that red right there, and I wanna bump it up to be a little bit more vibrant. Pull it down on this end of the spectrum. Maybe pull it slightly orange. Are we still in? No, we're not. Cool, okay, let's try that again. Pull that down here. Okay, so there's our new red, there's our old red. Goodbye. Pull this out into a few more colors. So for my secondary color, I do still want to keep that yellowy gold. So let's pull kind of like, I like this frame color more than this bright yellow nonsense that they've got going on in the middle here. So pulling that up toward the gold, more of like a, I don't know. I like to think of it as like Velveeta cheese gold. And I'm working just off the rainbow, not off Pantones, because that takes too much time and I don't care enough. And then I have a beige, gotta always have a beige. Can't go wrong with a beige. Probably in the orange family, maybe more toward the yellow. Cool beans. And then for our final color, I mean, they do have this purpley blue that they have in the mountains, which is kind of cool. So maybe I can pull something out of that. And that's a pretty cool color already. I'm gonna make this a bit more yellow. That was not more yellow. Cool, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, one more thing that I do wanna do really quick before I pull it into how I lock it up is do more of like an icon style like I did with the other two coffee companies. And I also wanna do a little bit of a stylization. I wanna stylize their catchphrase, which is the best part of waking up. So to start, we are gonna go and grab this F. So I think what I want to do is offset this and make it a little bit of a 3D letter to give it that kind of more of like that retro vintage feel. I'm gonna copy, paste this. And this is just how I do this. I don't know if this is actually how you're supposed to do it, but I just go into my blend options and add specified steps, and I do like 50 specified steps and then go into blend make. So then it kind of creates pretty much like a continuous line between the two objects, so you give it that depth. There's probably an easier way to do this, but that's how I've always done it. And then I'm just gonna expand that like that, go into my, do I even have my Pathfinder out? I do. Merge that, and then bring it back over to my main lettering and throw that behind. So I'm just gonna throw a color on that shadow, so that's what it looks like right now. And I wanna throw this into a bit of a holding shape, just a nice plain old circle. Maybe that is that color. Can we give you a stroke? Ooh, that's not weird. Stroke as well. Ooh, that doesn't look cute. I need to go in and simplify some of these anchor points. This can't be the easiest way to do this. Okay, path, simplify. That looks whack. I'm just gonna go in and do this by hand. Cool. Okay, so I have gone in and simplified all of my anchor points since I did that blend mode, which can make a bunch of different not a bunch of different anchor points, but it can make a lot of anchor points when you make that blend. So I went in and cleaned all of this up, took a few minutes. So while I was in there, I just threw it in this circle. Very exciting. So what my next plan of action is going to be, actually I want to thicken this up really quick. Thickened our mountains up a bit. So now what I want to do is go in and actually add color to these guys. Making a duplicate of that, so it just goes away. Grab this, go into my Pathfinder, merge everything so it's all one shape, and then I'm gonna make it red. And then maybe drop a little bit of that as a yellow drop shadow behind it. Now I'm not gonna do the same blend I did on the little letter mark down here. So it has a 3D shape. I think it'd be a little bit too much for the regular script, so I'm just gonna let it kind of be as like a drop shadow. And that's what they had in this one, but I'm flipping it and making it go the other way so it seems like it's moving forward to the right. Grabbing these mountains, making them purple, and then this guy right here, outlining, because it has a stroke on it right now. Outline that stroke, throwing that behind there. Bada bing, bada boom. Kind of like Lakers colors-esque. Maybe I'll throw in a gray, like a 90%. No, too light. Let's go darker than that. I like that a lot more, but we'll still keep the purple in there. So that's where we are at, and let's start actually branding this out. So I'm gonna go into here, grab the same lockup that I used for the coffee bean logos. And then I will add another one of these for the letter mark, not the letter mark. And I will add these for their little slogan once I finish those. So we'll just add it there. So this is my main one. I'm gonna throw this right here. And for this circumstance, I'm gonna knock everything out into this. Okay. Make that gray. So we've got those all mocked up on their like classic banner. And then we're gonna grab our little logo mark here. All right, so I've gone ahead and started this little slogan part. So, and there you have it. Some rebranded, revamped, put some life back into the Folgers logo, looking a little bit younger, but also super friendly and nostalgic. Kind of looks a little bit like the Toblerone. That's what it reminds me of a bit. But super friendly, homey brand, and really vibrant and exciting. So, yep, those are my logos just locked up on a banner format, and the individual letter marks, and also their little catchphrase slogan thing. And also, because I can't help myself, I'm of course going to mock this up onto their original iconic red can, and you guys can let me know what you think. Cool. Alright guys, that is all I have time for this week for redesigning some amazing coffee logos. So I think I'm gonna make this kind of a thing on my channel. I'm gonna redesign some logos that we're all pretty familiar with and kind of see how I can put a twist on them, and maybe, you know, you can see my process of how I walk through rebranding a logo. And I am starting to get back into logos because I think they are really fun and I do enjoy the elements of branding. So if you enjoyed watching this video, definitely subscribe down below. If you're a new budding graphic designer or you are a regular graphic designer, definitely comment down below, DM me on Instagram. Let's be friends, let's network. And while you're down in the comments, let me know which logo you liked the best. Thank you for sitting through this very long video. I will have more of these in the future because they are a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed watching, of course, leave a like down below if you did enjoy watching this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.